The energy in the Emerald City is electric this Saturday afternoon as we welcome you to the NCAA Softball Regionals presented by Capital One at Jane Sanders Stadium here in Eugene. Mississippi State out of the SEC takes on Oregon from the Big Ten. The Ducks are the number 14 national seed as these two teams meet for just the third time ever. In yesterday's action, Mississippi State a winner in extras over St. Mary's in their second longest game of the year. And Oregon, after a slow start, a 5-1 winner over Idaho State out of the Big Sky. We're so glad to have you with us for the first of 3 games here today. Mike Cousins along with Kenzie Fowler. 2 wins, 2 different stories for these teams in yesterday's play.
Yeah, the theme yesterday was clutch hitting at the right time, and that's what postseason is all about. And for Mississippi State, starting with them, this is a team struggling a little bit offensively. We know the pitching staff and what they have in the circle can carry them as far as they need to go. So I love the fact that Nadia Barbary gets it going for the Bulldogs. This is a senior who has been there and done that her entire career for Mississippi State. Of course, had that solo shot that kept them in the ball game. And then the RBI leader, the hits leader, who hits in that 3-hole delivers with that walk-off single.
The Ducks' big hitters did not come through yesterday. Iona Shaw did. She had 1 career home run until yesterday, and this was number 2.
This is what postseason is all about. This is what I'm talking about with that clutch hit. You need 1 inning, you need 1 opportunity. The Ducks were on the pond, literally, and the 7-hole hitter had the swing of her career to get the Ducks the win.
Oregon won yesterday without their ace, Lindsey Grine. They'll have to try and do it again today. More on that when we come back with First Pitch. Oregon Ducks have taken the field here at Jane Sanders Stadium, and they are ready to go in the winner's bracket game. Yes, that means everybody Duck affiliated is ready to go here for both of these teams that are 1-0. Elise Sokolski thrown into the action yesterday, faced 11 batters, retired them all. So no surprise that she gets to start here today with Lindsey Grine once again unavailable with an eye infection.
How good did Elise Sokolski look last night? She came in and every hitter that she saw was just so dominant. Throws in the mid-60s. It's going to be more down in the zone. We saw a lot of drop balls off of the end of the bats, a lot of rollovers. And her defense was also lights out behind her.
So the big question will be, how much offense can Mississippi State produce? They were aided by 3 St. Mary's errors yesterday. And the Bulldogs starting lineup presented by Capital One. A couple of shifts. Greta Grassel was hitting 9th yesterday. She's hitting 2nd today. And Kinley Keller has been a constant through their 2 SEC tournament games and yesterday's action as well. The freshman center fielder from the state of Texas has reached base in all 3 games. An offense that scored the 3rd fewest runs in the 15-team SEC. I hope the rain brings them some good luck today. So Lindsey Grine, the ace for this team in each of her 2 seasons since she transferred in from Virginia Tech. She was a unanimous All-Big Ten first-team selection this year through the 4th most innings in the league and is out again today. Now, I guess if there's a bright spot to that, it's that their opponent is one that does not scratch out a lot of runs, and that they've got depth in their rotation to be able to go to a redshirt senior, Elise Sokolsky, who's got plenty of postseason experience, as Morgan Stiles digs in, and we are underway in Eugene.
No doubt a luxury to have an arm that's behind Lindsey Grind. That is another senior. A lot of times you'll see the depth in the pitching circle, but you don't see two seniors very often, right, that have had so much postseason experience, Women's College World Series experience.
Stiles gets it started. Yesterday's win for Mississippi State, their second extra inning victory in their NCAA tournament history, and their first, the other one, was a 2-1 win against Iowa back in 2004. So you're talking about most of this roster not yet born. And a great start for Stiles as she is headed to first.
Well, 4 straight balls, and we've been talking about how it is raining lightly, and you could tell right there Sokolsky not able to get a grip on that curveball or that drop ball, missing low and away, and then low and in.
Rain has been on and off over the course of the morning, now here into the early afternoon. Never, though, any indication from the field crew here that they wanted to tarp the field. The showers have come, they've gone. And with a lot of turf, things are in good shape. Greta Grassel playing in her 37th game of the year, getting just her 5th start of the season. Yesterday was 0 for 3 in the 9 spot. And Sokolsky trying to find the strike zone. Emma Cox is going to come out and have a chat with the senior pitcher.
Emma Cox, starter as a true freshman a season ago. You could just tell that she is so much more confident in herself behind the dish this season. I like the fact that she initiated that timeout, going out to talk to her senior.
Sokolsky's first strike is hammered center field. Shaw retreats. It's out of here. Greta Grassel with a home run. 2-0 Mississippi State under the rain here in Eugene.
Wow. And it's so funny, Mike, because you had just talked about moving Grassel up from the very bottom of the lineup. Coach Ricketts moves her into the 2-hole. She does not have a home run on the season. Elise Sokolsky had thrown nothing but balls. And so how about Grassel just ready to go? Sees a pitch, gets her swing off. This is a much-needed lift for the Bulldogs emotionally. And of course, the run support, we have talked about it, and we're going to continue to talk about it, how good the pitching staff is for Mississippi State. 2 runs is a huge number in the first inning.
Her first career home run in her 79th collegiate game. So we have seen unlikely home run heroes over the last couple of days, with Ayanna Shaw's grand slam yesterday for the Ducks, her second career home run. And their Grassel, who had all of 1 at bat last year, delivering here and showing that the faith from her head coach Samantha Ricketts was worth the move in the lineup. Barbery strikes out as Sokolsky rebounds well.
Good bounce back here going at Barbery, who was a home run hitter yesterday. That drop ball falling out of the zone. Just see the movement, so well located.
Diane Romero is the batter. She hit second yesterday, hit third down the stretch of the regular season and the SEC tournament. In the cleanup spot this afternoon for the sophomore from Lake Elsinore, California. And she flips that into right field. Butler flops down to grab it.
This is a veteran outfielder, the senior transfer from Cal. We've been talking about her offense, but she is also a very solid defensive player. That's a tricky ball. If that ball gets past you, it's off to the bases for Mississippi State. And also kind of a cool arm sleeve there. A little tie-dye action on the right arm.
Well, she is quite the artist and has even gotten into tattooing not only others, but she gave herself a tattoo. So I've got to wonder if perhaps she designed that arm sleeve.
Yeah, talking to Coach Lombardi, she was making sure that we knew that she is an artist and loves to draw. Brings a drawing pad when they're on the road.
Kinley Keller, 2 balls, no strikes. Elon Butler has said in previous interviews her ideal job would be to draw and bake bread. Which, honestly, not that I can draw, but sign me up.
Yeah. What about like a bakery where you can draw, right? Like making bread is in now, and so you can draw while your bread is baking. I don't know.
Welcome to Sourdough Station.
Yeah.
I'm claiming that one. It's already trademarked, by the way. 2-1 to Keller, the freshman. And she scorches that down the left field line. That's a fair ball off the base of the wall. It's going to be close at second base, and the tag from Jones is not in time. The 2 underclassmen meet at second base. Keller's a step ahead of the throw, and it's the second extra base hit here in the top of the first for Mississippi State.
Just a really good sign for this inning for Mississippi State. 3 hard hit balls. Even the out to Butler was hit well off of the bat from Romero. And so the freshman, the only freshman in the lineup, continues to stay hot.
So clearly Missy Lombardi is seeing something right now, because Emma Cox, the sophomore catcher, has already made a visit to the circle, and this was a very brisk pace walk there from Lombardi. She's seeing exactly what you just said. The ball's coming off the bat, and it's screaming to the outfield.
And Coach Lombardi is known as one of the best pitch callers in our game. The head coach, she is the pitching coach as well, and she works every day in the bullpen. So this is just a conversation about strategy, and she's going to have the input from Elise Sokolsky. She's a total veteran. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? What can we change here?
Is there's the possibility that it was none of the above, and just to say, trust your stuff. You don't need to change anything. Just be confident in it.
Totally, and this is what I'm seeing from my vantage view and what I'm calling.
Scoring position, second base for Morgan Bernardini, strike 1 for the senior left fielder. She didn't start a game over her first 2 seasons. Last year hit .277. Checks in today at .243. Mississippi State, bottom 3 in the SEC in terms of run production and average as a team, slugging as well, but defying those marks here in the first. Sun is peeking through. It's welcome to stay as long as it likes.
The last 2 pitches, we've seen Sokolsky go upstairs with the rise ball, and then that was an off-speed pitch. Her best pitch is her drop ball, so pulling a little bit more of her tools out of her toolbox early here in the first.
She was elite yesterday, different level of competition here today. That's fouled off by Bernardini. One-two, inside corner to strike out Bernardini. Greta Grassel moved up from the 9 spot to number 2 in the lineup today, and she plates to with a first home run of her career.
This is what the Bulldogs need. We know that they can pitch it defensively, offensively, getting it going here in the first inning. Greta Grassel has her team on top.
Mississippi State's out to an early 2-0 lead over Oregon here in the winner's bracket game in Eugene. Yesterday, Peja Gould got the start, went 6 1/3, and Alyssa Faircloth followed up with 1 2/3 scoreless, hitless softball. She's the starter today against the Ducks.
And one of the most improved pitchers and players in the country was named SEC Newcomer of the Year. The transfer from Troy in her first year for Mississippi State brings it mid-60s. It's going to be all about the curveball, whether it's a backdoor to lefties or away to lefties. And she also has an elite changeup.
And here is the Oregon Ducks starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. It was interesting yesterday. You look at the top of the lineup, Elon Butler, Amari Harper, two big bats, had one hit between them. They did reach base a combined 4 times. And they got a sacrifice fly from Emma Cox, who flipped spots with Stephanie Maake in the lineup today, going from 3rd to 4th. But the grand slam from Ayanna Shaw gave them 4. And the sacrifice fly from Cox made it 5. And that was the final tally against Idaho State. Butler with a bunt, pushed it a little bit too much back to the circle, and Faircloth takes care of business.
Saw the sigh of relief there. Woo, got it.
Well, there's something to be said for getting the first one out of the way, because Alyssa was telling us she's now in her junior season after 2 years at Troy. She's an Alabama native. And the moment she knew that she was going to be okay pitching in the SEC was their first conference series of the year against then #1 and undefeated Tennessee. And she goes, once I got through the first inning, I knew I'd be okay. Not only did she get through 1 inning, she got through 9 innings and allowed only 3 unearned runs in the 9th and struck out 9 against the Lady Vols. She's just fine.
One of the best strikeout pitchers in the nation. Became the fastest Mississippi State pitcher to record 100 strikeouts in a season.
Which is just what she's been doing throughout her entire life as a softball player from Northport, which is adjacent to Tuscaloosa. And when she was a junior in high school, she led the nation in strikeouts. She's loved being part of a duo with Peja Gould, both of them having similar journeys, transferring to Mississippi State from mid-major schools, with Gould coming from Chattanooga and Faircloth from Troy. And even that wasn't the way that it was always going to go, because she was originally committed elsewhere. Then there was a staff change there. And so she decided to go to Troy, which had a new staff when she arrived. The dream above all, she said, given how close she grew up to Tuscaloosa, was to play for the Crimson Tide. And nevertheless, she's found herself in the SEC anyway. Mari Harper draws the walk. So a runner at first and one away. There's Samantha Ricketts, who has done a masterful job with this team. A win today would get them one win away from their second trip to Super Regionals, where not only did they go, but they hosted back in 2022. So with Harper at first, Stephanie Maake going to the 3 spot today. It's a good move for Missy Lombardi after the exit velocity. Would have gotten a speeding ticket that might get you your license suspended with how hard she hit the ball yesterday. Well out in front on that pitch.
It's why you're going to see a lot of changeups when Alyssa Faircloth has that changeup in her toolbox. It's one of the best changeups in the country, and we saw the at-bats from Maake last night. She was locked in. Ball was coming off hot off of her bat.
That's off the hands, popped up. Nadia Barbary at third base. Grabs that for the second out.
Just such a good sequence there. You go low and slow, and then you speed it up high and in. And you could see the swing from Maake. She was late, jammed up. It's a big out.
The question for Mississippi State in the postseason will be how far can pitching take them? And a 2-0 lead can feel really challenging. Sophomore Emma Cox, who started 50 games this year, was second on the team, driving in 54 runs. Time called, and Des Rivera need to get her comms situation situated. And another ball, weak contact. Rivera, the call, the catch, and the inning concludes with that. 2-0 Bulldogs after 1. Series. The Oregon Ducks were in the Women's College World Series just a year ago, and we are now 12 days away from the start of play in Oklahoma City. It'll be on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. The question is, who will be dancing? Right now, it's just Broccoli Guy out in center field. Boy, what a day it was for him. He's no stranger to being a star on social media, but he made the big ESPN Instagram account yesterday.
Well, I mean, this fit is everything. It's just, I don't know, iconic.
Did we start a timer yet? Should I start it on my phone of how long he'll go? He was here at 1 o'clock local today.
Well, that was when I noticed him. He might have been there earlier before 1, but I looked up and it was literally 12:59, and he was dancing and nobody else was in the stadium.
We're checking in. I don't want to say we are, since he's got the broccoli. We're not stalking him, but we are following closely.
Correct.
Mississippi State with a 2-0 lead on a Greta Grassel home run. And Kiera Sells, the right fielder, starts off the bottom third of the lineup.
Did you look up broccoli puns last night?
You don't know what
prep?
You don't know what I did.
All right.
Yes. Believe it or not, that was the only prep that I did for today.
Fair enough. Well, the Duck is also out there with him. I wonder if we're going to have a collab in this inning.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's a tease. I was looking forward. Sells hard to left and directly at Amari Harper. I thought it was an important moment last inning when Emma Cox came out to talk to Elise Sokolski, because she is a redshirt senior in the circle. Cox is a true sophomore behind the plate. And as we got to chat with all the teams on Thursday, one of the things that Emma Cox said about her freshman year and stepping into a pitching staff that included Lindsey Grind, who had come from Virginia Tech and was and continues to be a great pitcher, and Sokolski, who was plenty experienced, was when you're behind the plate, Cox said, it feels like you need to be the leader who takes charge. And one of the things that set her at ease was Missy Lombardi, the head coach and pitching coach, saying, we need you to be you. We don't need you to come in here and be anything other than what you are. And so that put her at ease and made things a lot easier, and just to be able to follow the upperclassmen, see what the voids were that they needed filled in terms of leadership or reassurance. And now in her second year, those relationships are so much strengthened from year one.
And it was also like so frank that Coach Lombardi told Emma, we don't need you to be a leader. We don't want you to be a leader. We need you to be the freshman behind the plate. And we have 2 veterans in the circle. We have veterans to the sides of the field. We're going to lead you.
Flannery plays back on a ground ball. And Paige Ernstis is the second out of the inning.
But I really loved talking to Emma Cox. She spoke like a coach when she was talking. I had to look down at the roster going, yeah, no, she's a sophomore. Okay. Because she speaks like a senior.
Yes.
And you could just tell the confidence from being a freshman starter a season ago, playing in the Women's College World Series, being led by the veterans of Sokolski and Lindsey Grind. In her sophomore form, she's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to lead now. And that's the sign of a really good program and good culture.
And even though she graduated in a really small high school class, what did she say, 16 people?
16, yeah.
But she played travel ball with an elite program with the Corona Angels. Stephanie Maake, the team's first baseman, came out of that program. And of course, Paige Sinicki, their former shortstop, who was in the building yesterday, and got to imagine she'll be out and about today as well. Marcus Mariota was here yesterday too. Des Rivera, the former Oregon State Beaver and Iowa Hawkeye, went to the World Series in 2022 with OSU. 1-1 on the number 9 hitter, and this could be a 1-2-3 inning for Elise Sokolski. Indeed it is. Clean frame for the redshirt senior. stars are during college softball regionals. The folks holding it down for 7 innings live back in the studio in Bristol. Every game, every big moment from yesterday, today, tomorrow, through the end of regionals. It's all available on the ESPN app, so you don't miss a moment. My Cousins and Kenzie Fowler with you here in Eugene, Oregon. It is brisk today, but it is comfortable. Everybody bundled up here at the Jane. Temperatures this morning in the 40s. Right now, 59 degrees. Certainly feels cooler than that. Mississippi State out to a 2-0 lead on a home run from Greta Grassel, their sophomore DP. K-Dub Kaylin Jones leading off for Oregon here in the last of the second, hitting 5th in this lineup. Well, we finished last inning talking about Emma Cox and how it felt like she's beyond her years in terms of the way that she views the game, and say the same for Kaylin Jones too. She just added more responsibility to her life last year. She adopted a puppy named Ace. This is an easy play for Bernardini in left field. I don't know about you, I would not have been able to take care of a dog in college.
No way. I'm trying to take care of myself.
Still to this day.
Yes, trying to survive. She was very proud of her puppy adoption story. They had Bark at the Park here at the Jane earlier this year and used Ace for a lot of the promotion.
Smart. He doesn't know. He's got to ask for compensation. Suppose a milk bone will do. There's only so much. Yeah, there's only so much NIL budget to go around, right?
For the puppies, yeah.
Riley McCoy quickly retired. So here is Ayanna Shaw, the hero of yesterday's game. She brings defense, she brings speed, and she said yesterday when she came up to the plate was just looking for something with the bases full, trying to get a runner in, and got all of them in. And what was to that point a pretty tense moment for Oregon, going up against Idaho State and Marley Galuskin, the Big Sky pitcher of the year. They had loaded the bases in the 3rd, and then Emma Cox grounded into a double play that got the Bengals out of a jam. But that 4th inning that led to Shaw's grand slam started with a walk, 2 singles, and then she sent it flying out of the park. She goes chasing in the dirt, and Rivera completes the putout. So both pitchers trade 1, 2, 3 second innings. Still 2-0 Mississippi State. First inning, first career home run for Greta Grassel, who hit 9th yesterday for Mississippi State. Sam Ricketts knew what she was doing filling out this lineup card today. Sometimes a head coach just has an intuition, and hers was right.
It was just so crazy because Elise Sokolski had not thrown a strike in the ball game with 6 straight balls. There was a timeout, a long timeout, and then Greta Grassel just said, I'm swinging on this pitch. Ran into it. Huge momentum shift in the very start of this game. And it allowed Alyssa Faircloth to take the circle with a big 2-run lead. And obviously 2 runs is not a huge number in today's game, but for this staff, for Mississippi State, it is.
This has some life out toward right field, and this reaches the wall. Morgan Stiles heading for second base, head first. And she's in there with a 2-bagger to lead off the Mississippi State third. The Bulldogs have 3 hits. All of them have been extra base hits.
It was so key for Morgan Stiles to be on base for that Grassel 2-run home run. She was on base via the walk, so just starting this inning again in that leadoff spot. We're only in the 3rd inning, and she's already back at bat and showing us her speed, why she's at the top of the lineup. Really nice piece of hitting there in the gap.
Let's see how they pitch to Grassel second time around. Productive out. 1 away, Stiles to third. The win yesterday for Mississippi State. They matched their highest single season win total under Samantha Ricketts. And if they win today, they'll have just their 3rd 40-win season ever and do that for the first time since 2008. And we look forward to talking with Coach Ricketts, bottom of the 3rd inning. I know the first question is going to be about lineup construction today, and then I'm sure we'll talk about Alyssa Faircloth too. So Grassel's 1 for 2, but she did a good job to move Stiles over and bring up their hottest bat right now, Nadia Barbary, who became the 13th Bulldog with 200 career hits yesterday, and it came on her solo home run. Just their 9th player ever with multiple home runs in their NCAA tournament career. Chopper, third base. That's a long throw, and Barbary is retired. Flannery's feeling good. It's back-to-back days where she has made standout plays, this time going into foul territory.
Well, there's a little conversation about, is this a foul ball? It was called fair. If it's called fair, you can go to review and check it and see if it is foul. I don't know if there's a challenge issued. I don't think there is from Mississippi State, just a lot of conversation.
Our home plate umpire this afternoon is Marty Abazishan. And we're going to get a call from Jim Bertuzzi.
The ruling of a fair ball is being challenged by Mississippi State. The ruling, or the play, is under further review.
So we get to add this to our fun glossary of replay reviews. Yesterday we had 3 of them, and they were all on bang bang plays at first base. Gotta have indisputable video evidence to overturn this call of this being a fair ball. It's fair on the ground there. And I think the biggest question is, do you have anything there without a shot directly down the line to be able to say that ball went foul?
Yeah, there would have to be a camera right down the line for me to tell. And so, I mean, we're watching this replay. This was an incredible play by Flannery. We saw her have an incredible play last night on her knees, diving to her left, just showcasing her range here in this regional. Bounce is fair, and if it's in front of the base and fair, then it stands. But if it's in front of the base and foul, then I guess you could overturn it. But I'm not seeing anything that would cause me to overturn it. The angles just really aren't there for me.
In the meantime, a credit to Morgan Stiles being aware as she ducks to get out of the way and then immediately looks to get back to the bag because she easily could have been tagged out there at third too.
Yeah, this is why as a base runner you want your lead to be very conservative with less than 2 outs.
Well, we saw that issue arise with McNeese yesterday where they had a bases loaded, nobody out situation, and a runner overran the base going from first to second, got tagged out there, and then the runner at third was off the bag, tried to run home, and it turned into a double play. So after this goes to central replay review, call is relayed back here.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The runner is out. Mississippi State has 1 challenge remaining.
Tyler Brown, the third base coach, does not like that call. So it's up to Zion Romero to try and get a run across. And of the 2 games we had yesterday, the 2+ innings we played today, save for the grand slam from Shaw last night, the reaction to that review is the loudest this crowd has been. Whether it's ABS in baseball or replay review in softball, folks just love having decisions handed down these days. 1-1 on Romero, who lined out to right field back in the first. And she hits another ball to right field. The Bulldogs take a 3-0 lead. She's rumbling into second base. 4 Mississippi State hits, 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles, and a home run as they build an advantage in the third against the Ducks.
Well, Stiles doesn't get to score on the Barbary play, but she gets to score here on the Romero hit. This is such a good piece of hitting. This ball is away. You can see how deep Zion Romero sees this pitch. Just so pretty down the line. There's a little bobble out in right field. I was wondering if Romero was going to push it for 3. I think she might have been able to make it, but playing it safe. I think we're going to have a pitching change for Oregon.
Freshman Maddie Milhorn gets the call here. A redshirt senior, Elise Sokolski, hands it over in the third. 3-0 Bulldogs. Maddie Milhorn, a freshman from Vancouver, Washington, making her first appearance since April 18th against the University of Washington. Almost a month between outings, but without Lindsey Grine yesterday and today, the ace of the staff. And Elise Sokolski out of the game after 2 2/3. They turn to the freshman here, down 3-0. Grine day-to-day with an infected eye. Kenley Keller at the plate is already 1 for 1 with a double. Freshman against a freshman. What a difference day to day for Elise Sokolski yesterday. Oregon starter who went 11 up and 11 down yesterday. Fielder's choice ends the inning. And Milhorn takes care of business coming in for Sokolski. The Bulldogs score one more. Pressure turning up on Oregon. NCAA softball regionals are presented by Capital One. Winners bracket game, both Mississippi State and Oregon, 1-0 here in the regional, and the Bulldogs out to a 3-0 lead. Bottom three, we're joined by Samantha Ricketts and a merry gang of fun-having Bulldogs right behind you. Speaking of fun, second at bat of the game, it's Greta Grassel. What did you see today after she hit ninth yesterday? She was 0 for 3. You moved her up to second. What went into that decision to move her up in the lineup?
Yeah, she might have been 0 for 3 in the scorebook, but she just had 3 great at-bats, 3 missiles, and just didn't get anything to fall. And that's something we preach all the time, is just keep swinging and knowing that when we're getting our best cuts off, at some point it's going to come through for her. And Greta's really looked good the last month or so, and worked really hard for that moment. So it was awesome to see that come through for her.
Well, some good run support for your pitcher in the circle. And I got to ask you about Peja yesterday, so I want to ask about Alyssa today. What makes her so good?
She is just such a competitor. I mean, she's going to go right at hitters, tell them to hit her best stuff, mixing that changeup in any count, and just love the confidence. And then the team loves playing behind her when she's like that as well.
All right, well, Coach, when you check your phone after the game, no contact softball is going to be.
I can't even imagine what's going on back there. Thank you. Hail State.
So the behind the scenes on that directing job there from the team was we could hear everything coming through her microphone during the commercial, and they're going, all right, we got to be over here.
Yeah.
We got to be over here. Somebody started out down on the turf before and go, no, we're not going to be in the shot. Great work there by Mississippi State.
Yeah, there was a lot of, are we on yet? Are we on? Should we move positions? What should we do? I like the just game face, the mean mug.
Yeah, well played, by the way. Ali Supan was the horizontal Bulldog there, being supported by her other teammates. So while Mississippi State has gone almost twice through its lineup, here in the bottom of the third, Taryn Ho, the freshman shortstop for Oregon, gets her first at bat of the day. She chases in the dirt, and that's the last 2 batters. Ayanna Shaw to end the second, and Taryn Ho here to start the third, going after some pretty dirty pitches from Alyssa Faircloth, who's got her second strikeout.
Well, on that changeup, you could hear audibly the Oregon dugout yelling sit, and this is something that we saw yesterday against Idaho State. Oregon had the changeup from Marley Galessian, the pitcher for Idaho State, had it picked. You can hear it right there. That pitch is picked, and I loved the fact that she continues to throw that changeup. And we just talked to Coach Ricketts about Alyssa Faircloth, and she said the thing that she loves about her is her confidence. And to get through this moment, it takes confidence in your pitch.
So if you hear that coming from the opposing dugout, what does that do to your mental state?
Well, if you're a young pitcher, you might have that fight or flight feeling. But if you're a veteran, to be honest, it motivates me.
Styles at short, retires Flannery, 2 away.
And then when you get an out on a pitch that is being called and being picked, I've got a little swagger. I've got a little bounce in my step. I'm kind of looking over my shoulder going, yeah, you can pick it, but you're still not going to hit it. Alyssa Faircloth, her changeup is that good. Like, I could be in a BP situation against her hitting, and she'd be like, here comes a changeup. I would probably still swing and miss. That's how good it is.
Just the vertical break on it is astounding. It looks like it's going to be there, and then all of a sudden can make a hitter feel silly. Elon Butler, top of the lineup, tried to bunt her way aboard in the first and was retired by Faircloth. So 9 batters have come to the plate. Only 1 has reached, and that was Amari Harper on a first inning walk. This is, at least through 2 2/3, exactly the type of performance you'd hope for, whether you're in the winner's bracket or the need to win game. But especially to be able to work with a 3-0 lead for Mississippi State with these 4 extra base hits, their most as a team in more than a month. Short hop, first base, and Butler is safe. Paige Ernstis, fooled by the speed of Elon Butler, and was hoping Romero might be at the bag.
Well, Mississippi State only has 1 challenge, right? We just saw them use their first challenge a couple of moments ago.
And they overturn the call. Doesn't appear as though there's any protest from the Oregon dugout on that call, and the inning is over. So weak contact off the bat, initially called safe, and then Ernstis ruled as having made the tag. Question mark on that one. The Eugene Regional at Jane Sanders Stadium, home of the Oregon Ducks. They are taking on Mississippi State right now, and it's a 3-0 Bulldogs lead. Later on today, it'll be a must-win game between St. Mary's and Idaho State. The winner of that 7:30 game faces the loser of this Mississippi State-Oregon game in what will be yet another elimination game. This is our last play, last inning. It appeared to be safe, but watch Elon Butler's left hand gets tagged at first base by Paige Ernstis. So on a first look at it, I know, Kenzie, I don't know about you, I was looking to see if she got her on the leg, if she got her in the small of her back, but it was just the fingers where the glove hit Elon Butler.
Yeah, and in that replay, and we were watching it in the break, I was also watching the reaction from Elon Butler. There was a little bit of like a hand flick after the tag, and then you're also always looking to the players because they're going to feel it. And especially we've all had video review for long enough now. We all know that if you're tagged, we're going to see it, and there was no reaction from Elon Butler, and so that told me, okay, she did get her.
Morgan Bernardini leads off here for Samantha Ricketts Mississippi State Club. Maddie Milhorn, the freshman out of Vancouver, Washington, came on in relief last inning and faced one batter, and that was the third out of the inning. What do we need to know about the freshman?
Well, she's been used in a spot relief appearance this season. It's been her role. Come in for an inning here or maybe close the game with 3 outs. Probably throws the hardest on the staff.
It's hard contact back up the middle for the 5th base hit of the game from the Bulldogs. Their first one that does not go for extra bases.
And that's huge for Mississippi State offensively. Yes, Oregon makes the pitching change, and so for the senior Bernardini to just say, we're going to continue our momentum, pitching change or not, because they are in such a groove right now offensively.
Tatum Silva comes in. She's pinch running for Bernardini at first base. Three times now in 4 innings where State has put the leadoff batter on. Maddie Milhorn hadn't pitched since April 18th against Washington. We're really the top 3 in the pitching group for Oregon. Lindsey Grine, Elise Sokolsky, Taylor Spencer. Spencer started yesterday, and Sokolsky finished that game off. This ball in and out of Emma Cox's glove, and it allows Bernardini to get to second base with nobody out. Kenzie, like you said, short outings for Milhorn. Went too high, now too low, but her last 3 outings have all been an inning and a third or less.
Just a couple of wild pitches and misses there from Milhorn. So Cox, quick timeout, reset.
Missy Lombardi will join us when we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Kiara Sells 0 for 1, line out to left field. Comebacker off of Milhorn, too short, and a 1-6-3 put out. Oh, how routine there. Great awareness from Taryn Ho to be right on top of that.
You can see Milhorn kind of turning to her teammates saying, I'm good, because this is a scary moment as a pitcher. She gets her glove to it. That's so huge for her. And then the freshman behind her, so freshman to freshman, Taryn Ho finishing that off, but that does not feel good. That's not a comfortable position to be in as a pitcher.
And Milhorn can pump it in with heat. They say she throws an easy 70. So as quick as it's coming in, it's coming back off the bat even hotter than that. Paige Ernstis grounded out in a 1-2-3 second. When Milhorn is on, she can be really effective in getting swings and misses. But right now, the Bulldogs are reading her well. It's 4-0 Mississippi State with an Ernstis RBI single.
Almost the exact same hit that we just saw from Kiara Sells. And for Mississippi State, they are looking one zone right now, and that is down. It is hard down. We have not seen an off-speed pitch. We haven't seen a rise ball. So if a hitter is in the box and you can eliminate anything up by your eyes and you can eliminate something low and slow, I am sitting so pretty. I'm just picking a side of the plate, getting my swing off. All I have to worry about is being on time It's just such a pretty place to be, and Mississippi State is so dialed in. This is so good. If you are a Mississippi State fan, you have been waiting for a game like this. I've been dying for a game like this because it has been a little bit rough offensively, to be honest. And everyone, we're seeing production from the top of the lineup in Morgan Styles down to the bottom here in the 8-9 spot.
Flannery at third. Jones brings it in and gets the out. Have a 4-0 lead for Mississippi State. Phenomenal with the way that they pitch. They're ranked 6th in the country. They allow just a little bit more than 2 runs per game. So far, Oregon, through 3 trips to the plate, is hitless. Started the 3rd time through the order for the Bulldogs now.
So in those 2 pitches, Milhorn went to the changeup, didn't get the call for a strike, and then went to the rise ball out of the zone. So trying to get out of that drop ball low zone where Mississippi State is so dialed in, just cannot find the location.
And she misses off the plate again. Kind of wonder what Missy Lombardi is thinking right now, where there is no question that Elise Sokolsky was the right choice to start the game today after she went 11 up and 11 down yesterday to close it out, picked up 5 strikeouts. And they've got more action in the bullpen now here as Addie Milhorn has found herself in a tight spot. Sokolsky could well re-enter this game.
I also see Taylor Spencer on the left there, who got the start in yesterday's game. Remember, no Lindsey Grind, the All-American, unavailable yesterday, unavailable today. That changes everything. And if you're Mississippi State and you hear that storyline, I'm kind of getting revved up a little bit. Okay, there's our opening. We just have to get to maybe the starter. And then our pitchers can take it the rest of the way. We have 2 All-American caliber pitchers on our side.
Harper, and the inning is over. Mississippi State has scored in 3 of their 4 trips to the plate. Oregon hunting for its first hit. It's the bottom of the fourth here in Eugene, Oregon. Mississippi State and Oregon in a 4-0 Bulldogs lead. Missy Lombardi, the head coach of the Ducks, with us now. Short huddle there for your team outside the dugout between innings. What's the message to try and get them going in the right direction?
Just to attack. I think we're passive right now. I think we need to swing the bat and trust our plan and go after it.
Coach, all hands on deck here with Lindsay still out. Just take us into the insights of the pitching plan and some action in your bullpen.
I think same thing all around. I think we just need to attack and do what we know what to do. I think we're just being a little passive.
Thanks, Missy. Right to the point. They got to swing the bats. They're without a hit thus far, and this crowd, without a doubt, is right behind them. Yesterday, huge crowd, better than 2,000 in here, which is well above the listed capacity for Jane Sanders Stadium, and they're hoping to draw some Jane sanity once again.
Yeah, this crowd has been a top 10 nationally in average attendance per game. It's phenomenal last night. It was cold, it was late.
Ball one from Faircloth, who's allowed just one base runner and has faced one over the minimum. She struck out 2 so far. Mari Harper, though, is not an easy out. She drew that walk in the first inning. Better than a 400 hitter during the regular season, and just out in front on that to go to 1-1.
I like that swing, though, from Harper. Coach Lombardi, she was short, but to the point, we have been passive. Not happy with the at-bats.
Or I guess you could say passive they have been. That's a grammar joke. It's not funny. Shoot or shoot, though. 1-2 to Harper.
A little uncomfortable swing there. And it really is a credit to how good of a pitcher Alyssa Faircloth is. Second time now through the lineup, this is where you start to see those adjustments, and I think it's why we saw between this inning a very lengthy timeout and huddle before the Oregon Ducks went into the dugout. There's a lot of chatter.
Mississippi State fortifying its defense here in this inning. We saw Tatum Silva come in as a pinch runner last inning. She stays in the game in left, replacing Morgan Bernardini. And then at first base, Abby Grace Richardson takes over for Paige Ernstis. Oh my goodness. Alyssa Faircloth is on to something right now. Her third strikeout as she retires a future pro in Amari Harper.
Just continuing to spin it, and the changeup. The way that she throws her changeup, Alyssa Faircloth, she packs it into the palm of her hand and then just turns her fingers over the top. And the movement that it gets on that pitch is tremendous. A foot of break.
Stephanie Maake, hard drive, deep center field. Kenley Keller at the warning track brings it home. Kenzie, if you were teaching a changeup, how would you teach somebody to throw it?
Well, I didn't throw my changeup like the way Alyssa Faircloth throws hers, but that's the beauty of a changeup and the beauty of pitchers is there's so many different ways to slow it down. Mine was a little bit more in my fingers. I like to really turn my hands, and I always teach a changeup where it's like turning a doorknob. Instead of turning to the right, I would turn a doorknob to the left, and that's how I threw my changeup. And obviously Faircloth is a lefty, and she does turn that doorknob, but it's the way that she holds the ball. The ball is in the palm of her hand, so she's almost taking her fingers out of it. And so when you put the ball deep in your palm, you're always going to slow it down because the speed comes from the fingers and the snap. So it's just so fascinating to me that she's able to get the break on a pitch that's deep in her palm. I can see how that pitch gets picked a little bit, and we've seen that today because it is very noticeable when you see the positioning of the ball on her hand deep and versus at the top of her fingers where it is usually with a curveball. You need your fingers to snap that ball. But I'm telling you, it does not matter if your pitch is picked. It is that good of a pitch.
Something's up with Des Rivera, but it looks like she's probably all right, given that we've already seen some smiles there in that triumvirate conversation going on down the first base line. She was walking a little bit uncomfortably as she went over toward the Mississippi State dugout. She's going to keep giving it a go.
See where she was stretching out to try and get that call on the outer half, and looks like her leg just maybe got a little hyperextended.
Cramp would be the first thought, but that might be if we were somewhere in the southeast where it's 90 degrees and a ton of humidity. It is cool today here. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go through the course of the game. A battery change would certainly not be insignificant given the success that Faircloth has had, as she hasn't allowed a hit yet. She's one strike away from getting through the fourth with only one base runner. The variety of her outs has been impressive as well. Strikeout number 4 retires Emma Cox. Last couple innings, it was pitches in the dirt. This time it's an elevated one to strike out the Oregon catcher. No hits through 4. Welcome back here to Eugene, Oregon. The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. Action starts Thursday, May 28th, high noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Ducks trying to get back there, but they're going to get themselves a hit first here as we go to the 5th, and it has been smooth sailing for Mississippi State after, I think if you asked a neutral observer yesterday, a game that you would think St. Mary's was in position to win, and without the mistakes, likely wins. Nadia Barbary swings first pitch and is retired because there were some gifts from St. Mary's yesterday to Mississippi State. A routine ground ball to shortstop that got misplayed, turned into their game-tying run at 2-2, and then Nadia Barbary with a bloop single to right field that she thought off the bat might have hung up a little bit too much. That was misplayed, and that ended up being the game-winning run.
Well, one thing that I wasn't surprised with in that matchup is that it was a pitcher's duel between Odie Vasquez and the 1-2 punch for Mississippi State. Paige Gould, Alyssa Faircloth coming in relief. That did not surprise me, the fact that it was low scoring. But to your point, St. Mary's was in the driver's seat.
We'll see St. Mary's and Idaho State in our next game. Both of those teams 0-1, double elimination format here in the postseason. So they need to win to keep their season alive. And they'll face the loser of this game. Kaylin Jones tracks out onto the outfield grass and sends Kinley Keller back to the dugout. Idaho State, St. Mary's, champions of the Big Sky, champions of the WCC. Tatum Silva came on as a pinch runner last inning, replacing Morgan Bernardini, and hits with 2 out and a runner on. Thinking about that second game today here in Eugene as well. Odds are good that Odie Vasquez starts again for St. Mary's. I'd say a coin flip Idaho State's way, with 2 of the best pitchers in their league.
That could be a potential pitcher's duel again. 2 conference pitchers of the year, one from the Big Sky, one from the West Coast Conference. Yeah, I think with St. Mary's, you're going to physically have to take the ball and rip it out of Odie Vasquez's hands for us not to see her in that circle. The senior, 2-time conference pitcher of the year, threw so well last night. Deserved to win last night.
The body language from Oregon was strike 3. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Silva. Down the line, foul ball. Tatum Silva, the first-year transfer from Utah State, lays off a very close pitch. "3-2. That's an inning ender. Milhorn cranks up the velocity. As they say in wrestling, it's short time here in this game. Jones, McCoy, and Shaw coming up for the Ducks.
Season 2 of Athletes Unlimited Softball League. Loading 6 teams take the field in their home markets, each stacked with a lineup worthy of the spotlight. The AUSL on ESPN. This is legendary.
And from this regional here in Eugene, we'll see Amari Harper, who got her golden ticket, and Peja Gould, who was golden in the circle yesterday for Mississippi State. I'll tell you what, I am excited. I'm not one to drive a long distance, but I will drive to Durham. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, to go see some AUSL softball this summer.
All right.
I think that is super exciting, of knowing that you're seeing the players here in college jumping immediately to the pros. The name brand recognition is awesome. The way that it was done to highlight it during the season and bring attention to the forthcoming summer season with the golden tickets was really a great way to present it and make it feel like a truly special moment.
I think it's so fun that Peja Gould in the dugout for the Bulldogs, and of course Amari Harper for Oregon, they will be teammates this summer for the Oklahoma City Spark. We're both drafted to the same team here in our matchup today. I mean, they will be suited up in a month. Opening day is June 9th, so less than a month.
Strikeout number 5 for Alyssa Faircloth. Has not allowed a base hit, just 1 base runner so far. And it's not just the players who are looking forward to that as well. There are a lot of coaches around college softball who during the summer continue their professional careers too, including Sydney Romero, an absolute legend of the game.
That's a great point. Coach Romero, or Coach Rowe as they call her, is also a member of the Oklahoma City Spark. So she's going to be teammates with a player that she is currently coaching right now, coaching her up, Coach Rowe, and then we'll be on the team with the opponent, Peja, in the other dugout.
Amari Harper said the hardest thing will be trying to catch herself and not going, Coach, I mean,
Yep.
sit, I mean,
Yep.
well, I mean, what do I call you here?
And she was like, I think I might just still call her Coach Rowe. It feels weird to call her anything else.
Sydney Romero, the 2-time All-American, 2-time World Series champion at Oklahoma, graduated in 2019. There is a lot of Oklahoma royalty here in the building today, no matter where you look, whether it's the dugouts or the stands, Kenzie.
Yeah, how about Kaylani Ricketts, just absolute legend in our sport and still doing it. Still pitching in the AUSL. She will be on your hometown team, the Carolina Blaze. Go get yourself a Kaylani Ricketts jersey, why don't you? Sister of the head boss for the Bulldogs. Also, pitching coach for Mississippi State, Taryn Mowat McKinney, will be the pitching coach for the Chicago Bandits this summer. So there is a lot of crossover. Everyone is getting involved, and that just tells you how elite that league will be. I mean, these are the best of the best, and everyone is wanting to be a piece of that AUSL league this summer.
And it's great that what had not been true for so long, that is strike 3 on what has been today a pretty small strike zone. And so Faircloth paints the black and gets her 6th strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts in a row and 4 in the last 5 batters.
I tell you what, Alyssa Faircloth is pitching like a pro right now. Just absolutely painting corners, spinning her curveball. It's pretty simple with Faircloth today. It's been all about the curve and the changeup.
Falling fast, right field, and Sells fell faster. She dives and keeps the no-hitter intact for Alyssa Faircloth through 5.
Well, to go where Alyssa Faircloth wants to go, obviously the win, but the no-hitter going right now, you have to have defense like this behind you. Kiara Sells, the senior, selling out for a big catch, and you know who loves it, Alyssa Faircloth.
last night, there was perhaps the most dramatic comeback of day one around college softball. It was UCLA on its home field with a walk-off win against Cal Baptist as they were down big late in that game. Texas Tech said, how about what we can do? Winners 10-9 on a Taylor Panel walk-off sacrifice fly, a bonanza of a 7th inning after the Red Raiders were down 8 going into the final frame.
Mayhem, here we go. Got started last night. We had some mid-major upsets, and then of course the UCLA Cal Baptist game is going on as you and I are calling our game. We're trying to watch all the scores and stay focused at the task at hand, of course, but man, it's just so fun to look around. And the one thing that I've seen this season is you are never out of a game. With the offense that we have seen from coast to coast, from conference to conference, it is absolutely a hitter's year. It is an offensive year. It is a tough year to be a pitcher. And if you have 3 outs, if you have 1 out, I'm serious, anything is possible. And we're going to continue to see some high scores and crazy comebacks today, tomorrow, next weekend, and then we'll be at the Women's College World Series.
So for the first time since 4 years after the Macarena was released, Texas Tech comes back down 8 and wins a game in the NCAA tournament. Not only were they down 8, they're playing the University of Mississippi. It's 1-0 after 1. It's 4-0 after 4. It's 8-0 going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Red Raiders rip off 8 to tie the game, bottom 7. Then they give up 1 in the top of the 8th and get 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning to win. And you would think in a game where there's 19 runs scored, there'd be at least 1 error. No errors in the game. Just a year of incredible offense.
Just some good old-fashioned smash mouth softball, I guess. And Cal Baptist almost did that last night. They were down 10 at one point. Came all the way back. Ultimately, UCLA had the last at bats, but
both of those games ending on sacrifice flies.
Sure. Whatever it takes.
Creed had a song about that.
Which album was that?
Deep Cut, My Sacrifice.
Yeah, I think I owned that album, actually.
Really?
I was really young to be owning a Creed album.
Was that like one of your first CDs?
It was, actually. I think I was 10. I had a Spice Girls album and a Creed album. The duality of a 10-year-old.
And you know what? Both of those probably still go pretty hard today.
So hard.
Abby Grace Richardson, look out. Maake on the move, basket grab. And she is out number 1. Well, as we were telling you about that Texas Tech game, you could have been watching this game and that game both at once with 7 innings live. It's our show on the ESPN app, every game and every big moment, including walk-off sacrifice flies on the road to the Women's College World Series, all on the ESPN networks. 1 out, and Des Rivera sneaks that down the right field line, but by about a foot. And it's strike 1. Four nothing Mississippi State, 2 in the first, 1 each in the third and the fourth. Oregon still looking for its first hit. Chance for a double play, but a quick dive back into the bag from Sells denies the Ducks the twin killing.
Has a great swing from Des Rivera in the 9-hole. Right to Taryn Ho, goes to her left a little bit, trying to get this throw off and beat Sells for the double play. Close play at first. Slides in just an inch in time.
Morgan Stiles has been unstoppable at the top of the lineup today. 2 walks, a double, and she's scored 2 runs. Yesterday she was 1 for 4.
Nice spot there from the freshman. Just go right back to it. Brings the velocity. That's a tough place to barrel up if you're Styles. Very uncomfortable side of the plate to be in.
2-2 gets through the left side, a base hit. And Morgan Styles has reached 4 times in 4 plate appearances. 2 hits, 2 walks. 7 hits for Mississippi State. Only 4 hits yesterday. And meanwhile, the Oregon Ducks have been retired 14 consecutive times in a row when they've been up at the plate and are hitless today.
For Milhorn, it's been a lot of misses just over the heart of the plate. You know, 2 strikes. We had just talked about the pitch that was in on the hands of Styles. I'm asking for it again, go back in, but the call was there. You could see where Cox was set up. It's just, those are the freshman moments, the location, just not so pinpoint at times. And you have to credit Mississippi State every time that Milhorn has missed a little bit too wide. They're ready to go offensively.
This has not been the role for Maddie Milhorn much this year. She has had some longer outings, but only 1 time in the last couple of months has she gone more than an inning. She's 3 innings in right now. And a couple of longer starts throughout the course of the year. 3 1/3 against Auburn back in February, 6 innings against Sacramento State at the beginning of March, and most recently 4 2/3 against Iowa, but that was April 4th. Again, this is her first outing in almost a month. No Lindsey Grine available today. The 1-2 pitch is a wave and a miss. Strike 3 to retire Grassel. Bottom of the 6th inning. No hitter in the works for Alyssa Faircloth. Taryn Ho, Kate Flannery, and then Elon Butler coming up for Oregon.
The year has allowed only 1 walk, 1 base runner this entire game. So you at home can do the math, but there has been 6 strikeouts for Alyssa Faircloth and nothing to show for it for Oregon. Dominance from the transfer from Troy. She has been money. The changeup, the curveball, it has been easy and light work. Look at that, 50 pitches here in the 6th. Just the 1 walk. That's it.
So Oregon's going to change it up here and try and find some form or fashion to get runners on base. They called her name last night, and they do again here. The Notre Dame transfer, Addison Emerald, who was in the starting lineup early in the season Things didn't go her way defensively, and Taryn Ho has held down that spot the remainder of the year. But Amaral was a great hitter during her time at Notre Dame, and they'll hope that she can come through here with their first base hit of the night. Heck, it doesn't even have to be a base hit. Just find a way to get aboard. The efficiency, though, on just the 52 pitches is really remarkable. Not even long at bats. And another one. 7 strikeouts.
Just putting on a clinic. 3 pitches. See you later. Just watch this ball jump up through the zone. And when Alyssa Faircloth is spinning her rise ball like this, just what are you going to do as a hitter? Because you're having to deal with the curveball to both sides, one of the best changeups in the nation down in the zone. And then if she spins that rise ball up at my eyes, I'm just lost.
What does it feel like to be in this type of fugue state in the circle where everything's going your way?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain when you're in just the flow state that a pitcher is in, like Alyssa Faircloth right now. It's like you're floating on a cloud. There's nothing going on between the ears. It's just everything that you hope for. And, you know, stuff like this, it doesn't just magically show up. This is what you put in the work for in the fall. You're training for this since you arrive on campus in August and working with Taryn Mowat-McKinney, your pitching coach, your new pitching coach. You transferred for this. And she's one of the most improved, obviously, in the SEC. That was her award, was Newcomer of the Year, but she's one of the most improved players in the country. The story for Alyssa Faircloth has been kind of 0 to hero. Coming from a mid-major, coming from Troy, was not even a first-team selection in the Sun Belt a season ago. And there were some things that they worked on with Alyssa Faircloth that Coach Mowat-McKinney was very excited, obviously about the tools that she was coming in with.
Flannery out to Keller. That's 2 here in the 6th.
Knew that she was a lefty, knew that she had good velocity and a good changeup. But there were some things mechanically that maybe control was an issue the last 2 seasons for her as a pitcher, and so went to work and cleaned up those mechanics, and the control has not been an issue this season at all. The spin has gotten better. The change of speeds obviously is always there. And there's just so many times in this game where she has not thrown a ball, just pounding the strike zone.
It's been 3 years, 9 days since the Oregon Ducks were no hit. That was their senior day against Utah back in 2023. If there's anybody who can break it up, though, here she is. Elon Butler, who tried to bunt her way on as the first batter of the game for Oregon. And Amari Harper waiting on deck, the only base runner that Oregon has had this afternoon. She walked in the first.
The one thing that I'm always wondering up here in the booth when we have a no-hitter situation is the pitcher aware? A lot of times the pitcher is not aware. Teammates maybe, coaches maybe. Just kind of leave that pitcher alone.
Had 0-2 on Butler, who had the 4th best OPS in the Big Ten this year. The 0-2 is outside.
It's that rise ball, that low rise. She's so difficult to prepare for. You're thinking, I have to protect upspin, but then also there's always that changeup opportunity. I can see that changeup multiple times in my at-bat against Alyssa Faircloth. What do I go after?
Faircloth, 16 in a row, retired. She has alternated what her put-away pitch has been throughout the course of the game. Sometimes low, sometimes high. And the 2-2. She just got a piece of it.
And that messes with me as a hitter right there. When you see Faircloth go back-to-back changeups, especially after not getting the pitch prior to that one, it was not called for a strike. Typically, as a hitter, you can go, okay, she's not going to go back to it. She didn't get called for a strike. No, she'll go back to it. She has that much confidence in her changeup. Could she go 3 in a row here? And it's why you see Elon Butler, she's late, because you have to protect both. You have to think there could be the potential for a changeup. I need to be a little bit late, adjust on the fast stuff, foul it off.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Faircloth slams the door on 6 no-hit innings.
She's feeling it. 8 strikeouts. She had to work for this one a little bit, but watch this rise ball up in the zone. The location, you can't pinpoint that any better. Alyssa Faircloth, she's strutting her stuff.
State feeling good right now against Oregon with a 4-0 lead as we go to the 7th here in the winner's bracket. Loser of this game turns around and will play later on tonight against the winner of the 7:30 Eastern game between St. Mary's and Idaho State. The victor of this game will sit and wait, and they won't play again for about 24 hours. That is a gift to receive, to have that break and then need to just win one game tomorrow in the regional final to move on to Super Regionals. A no-hitter alert right now for Alyssa Faircloth, as she has allowed just 1 base runner against Oregon through 6 innings. Super Regional-wise, the Ducks were there last year as they went to the World Series. Mississippi State went back in 2022. It's all converged perfectly today for the Bulldogs. Yesterday, they needed a couple of gifts from the St. Mary's defense as they were down early, came back to tie it. Nadia Barbary got their first base hit yesterday after 11 in a row had been set down. She hit a home run. She's sent back to the dugout here. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. Barbary had the home run and the game-winning hit, and today is 0 for 4.
This is where I like to see my pitchers, the Zen zone. Just leave her alone. Good smiles there, cheering on her team.
Are you in that moment a little bit like, to quote Sabrina Carpenter, like half your brain just ain't there?
Yes.
You're just letting it float, and whatever happens, happens?
Yep. That's exactly right. Because typically when you're thinking about things, you know, that's not where you want to be as a pitcher. It is such a rhythm thing.
And maybe for the better for her, it's not going to be a long layoff. 2 up and 2 down here for the Bulldogs in the 7th inning. This is the 66th NCAA tournament game in the history of Bulldog softball. They have never had a no-hitter. And Alyssa Faircloth, a first-year Bulldog, a transfer in from Troy, is 3 outs away from doing that.
I think it's been so important for Alyssa that her team came out and established offensively in the first inning, right? Scoring those 2 runs. So it allowed her to start this game with no stress. And that's a huge thing for pitchers too, right? You think about the pitch count, and I'm always thinking about the pitch count. Is it a high pitch count with stress, or is it a high pitch count with no stress? And for Alyssa Faircloth, it has been a low pitch count with no stress. So it's why you're seeing a dominant performance. It's a combination of everything. You start off this game as good a mental spot as you can because her team scored first and scored big, and the at-bats were good. You're feeling it. Okay, this is what I have been waiting for from my offense. Let me go work.
Now, if the game were like a workout on a treadmill, the incline has been at 0, the speed has been just above 0. History possible for the Bulldogs. Faircloth 3 outs away from a no-hitter. Alyssa Faircloth has risen to the occasion. She's allowed 1 base runner today, a no-hitter through 6.
And this is what Alyssa Faircloth transferred to Mississippi State for, a moment like this in the postseason. A mid-major that went into the portal and bet on herself and found a home at Mississippi State. You take a look at the line. What stands out to me, yes, no hits, but the 65 pitches. It has been so easy for her. She has just been pounding the strike zone. And it's been a minute. This would be her first ever, but it's been a minute for Mississippi State to have a no-hitter, and then it would be history. It would be the first ever. I love the deep breath there. And you're wondering what's going through her head, right? Does she know? You look at the scoreboard, but also, right, I just have 3 outs. This is a big game for my team. We put this game away, we get to go kick our feet up back at the hotel. All of the pressure would be on the home team, the host site.
The advantages are not to be understated of going 2-0 to the regional final. You need to win once The opponent needs to win twice and do it in successive games with a 30-minute break in between. You've got every possible advantage in that situation. There's Amari Harper, who is the only Oregon Duck to reach base against Alyssa Faircloth. Harper walked in the first inning. The Ducks have still not figured out the changeup. "17 in a row retired, and now 18, 2 outs away from a no-hitter. Strikeout number 9 for Alyssa Faircloth.
Well, the changeup sets up the rise ball pitch. So the pitch prior to this one was the change. Amari Harper swings and misses, and it allows Alyssa Faircloth to just spin it up in the zone. And it's worth noting, Mike, we talked about how the fact that Oregon had picked the changeup from Alyssa Faircloth in the middle of the game. It was back in the 3rd inning. You could hear it from the dugout. It was sit, sit, sit. And it was a huge turning point. Alyssa Faircloth, she could have folded. This is her biggest game in her young career. But she did not fold. She said, so what? Hit it. You can know it's coming. I'm still going to continue to throw my best pitch.
And she just got ahead in the count 0-2 on a pitch where Maake didn't even want to swing. Got her.
Right there. You heard it. You heard it from the dugout yelling sit. It does not matter. Back of her palm. You can see the spin, the turnover, where it starts. You're lighting up your eyes as a hitter. Oh, it looks high. Let me go get this. And it falls a foot out of the strike zone.
Three strikeouts in a row, 10 on the game. Emma Cox 0 for 2. Mississippi State an out away from the regional final, an out away from a no-hitter. Cox checks her swing. There's a strike. 2-1.
It's a hitter's count where Faircloth needs a strike. And what pitch does she go to? She goes to the changeup. Back to back. And now she has 2 options. She can go changeup down in the dirt, or she can run that rise ball. But I'm choosing one of those because they are so opposite. Way down in the zone or go way up.
Faircloth 2-2, center field, and Alyssa Faircloth pitch perfect here in Eugene. A no-hitter, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs are 1 win away from Super Regionals.
Her first ever on the biggest stage. And the reaction, Mike tells me that she knew. Right, there was some relief after that ball. It was hit pretty well from Emma Cox, but right to Keller in center field, and hugs all around, so deserved. Alyssa Faircloth, she's one of the best to do it. And there it is with her pitching coach. It has been a lot of work between those two. Transferring from Troy, there's been a lot of work in the fall that is now showing up. It's why you work when you arrive to campus in August. What can I get better at? What are my tools? Let's fix some things mechanically. Add a pitch here. And in the driver's seat, the Bulldogs go.
They need just 1 victory. That'll be tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific here at Jane Sanders Stadium. Our next game will be St. Mary's and Idaho State, and the winner of that game advances to face Oregon in yet another elimination game, and the winner of that game in the bottom middle of the bracket will then need to take down Mississippi State twice tomorrow to go to Super Regionals. Our rewarding performance there in this game courtesy of Alyssa Faircloth, is brought to you by Capital One. Our Capital One rewarding performance. Oh, and rewarding it was 10 strikeouts and a no-hitter for Alyssa Fairclough.
It's just such a fun game for us to watch. I love some elite pitching, and Alyssa Fairclough is elite. I don't know if she could even watch it. She was kind of holding her breath. Is it going to be caught? It is. And then the celebration is on. Also worth noting, she had some great defense behind her. And you're always going to need that great defense for a no-hitter to happen. We're going to get to talk to our superstar here.
All right, Alyssa. Well, we saw your celebration after the last out when Kinley tracked that down in center field. We were wondering if you knew, and Kenzie said, I think she knew because you jumped right into the air. How did that feel?
It felt amazing. I mean, I kind of realized it in the third inning, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And so every inning I was in the dugout, and I was like, okay, just 3 more outs, just 3 more outs. And so, I mean, my defense played amazing behind me, so that helped out a lot. And we scored some runs early, so it took a little bit of the pressure off of me.
Yeah, what did it feel like when you stepped into the circle? You had a lead. Your team was having great at-bats. I think it's the best performance we've seen offensively from your team. So how did that fuel you in the circle?
I mean, it felt amazing. I know they've been working their butts off, and, you know, they haven't been happy with some of their performances. So the fact that they were able to do that, and I was so happy that they were able to have that success. So I was like, okay, now it's my turn to have their back.
Alyssa, what does this performance mean, right? This is what you transferred for, obviously the biggest game in your career so far, but what has it felt like to be a Mississippi State Bulldog and deliver in this game?
I mean, I'm just living my 5-year-old self dream. It's still crazy to me. I mean, the SEC tournament was crazy to me. I'm still not used to it, but these girls and these coaches just make it really enjoyable to be out here, and I have just loved going to softball every day.
What was, if there was any conversation like between you and Coach Taryn during this game as you were pretty locked in?
There really wasn't any. Maybe a little bit after I get off the field, but I like to have my brain turn completely off. So there's really no adjustments made in game unless I really, really need to.
It sounded like that Oregon could tell when the changeup was coming and they still couldn't hit it. What did that do for you to say, all right, you know it's coming and you still can't get there?
Yeah, people have been trying to pick it all year. Some teams have been more successful than others, but I mean, even when they're getting it right, I'm still throwing it past them. So I just have the trust in my changeup and know that even if they're picking it, they still have to hit it.
Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What could be cooler than living out your 5-year-old dream and doing it on the biggest stage?
Just the smiles, and this is what postseason is all about. It's why she transferred to the SEC, to Mississippi State. The SEC Newcomer of the Year, just showing us everything. And no, love to see it. So the Bulldogs will rest for 24 hours and be 1 win away from a second trip to Super Regionals in the last 5 seasons. Next up for Oregon, they will wait to see who they play. It'll either be St. Mary's out of the West Coast Conference or Idaho State out of the Big Sky. That game for the Ducks is at 10 Eastern tonight. For Kenzie Fowler, our entire crew, I'm Mike Cousins saying so long for now from Eugene.